Students, in this class we can see the topic parasitism. Parasitism is a type of interspecific interaction in which the parasite derives food and shelter from the body of the host and inhibits the survival of the host. So it is a type of interspecific interaction in which the smaller organism, that is the parasite, derives food and shelter from the body of the host and inhibits the survival of the host. Here the parasitic species is benefited while the host species is harmed. What is a parasite? Parasite is the organism which derives food and shelter from the host. And what is host? The organism on which the parasite survives is said to be host. Now, many parasites have evolved to be host specific. What is meant by that? They can parasiticize only a single species of host, and both the host and parasite tend to co-evolve. That is, if the host evolves special mechanism for rejecting or resisting the parasite, then the parasite will also evolve certain mechanisms to counteract it or to neutralize them in order to be successful in the same species or in the same host. Okay, so that they will be able to survive in the same host. Okay, so most of the hosts are developing certain mechanisms for rejecting the parasite. At the same time, the parasite is also co-evolving and withstanding or neutralizing that effect so that they are able to survive in the host species. Now, the parasites are developing certain adaptations in them in order to survive in the host body. So, what are the adaptations developed by the parasites in order to make them survive in the host body? One is, we can say, loss of sense organs. There is no need of a sense organ for the parasite to live inside the body of a host, isn't it? So the sense organs are absent. So we can say loss of sense organs. Then presence of adhesive organs or suckers. So they are having certain structures which can help them to attach to the host body, that is like hooks and suckers. So these are the hooks and these are the suckers. So these hooks and suckers are the adhesive means attachment organs, okay, which are seen in the parasites, which help them to attach to the host body. Then loss of digestive system. As the parasites are getting the digested food material from the host body, digested nutrients from the host body, they no need of any digestive system to digest the food. So loss of digestive system in the parasites, and they are having high reproductive capacity. Okay, so these are some of the adaptations which are seen in the parasites in order to help them to survive in the host body. Then the life cycle of parasites are complex, and in most of the parasites, they may be having one or two intermediate host or vectors, so that it help them to facilitate parasitization in its primary host. For example, the liver flukes, the picture which you are seeing is the liver fluke. It is having two intermediate hosts, that is the snail and a fish. So snail and fish are the intermediate host of the liver fluke. Liver fluke is a parasite which lives in the liver of cattle. Okay, so in order to complete the life cycle of liver fluke, it needs two hosts. They are the snail and a fish. Then the malarial parasite, it is the plasmodium. It need a vector to spread them from one host to the other host. Okay. Then majority of the parasites will be harming the host in which they live. So how they harm the host? They may reduce the survival of the host. They affect the growth and reproduction of the host, and also reduce the population density of the host. Okay, and they make the host vulnerable to predation because when they absorb the nutrients from the host becomes physically weak, and so they become vulnerable to the predators. Okay, thus the host is also affected by the parasite. Now, the parasites can be of two types. They are ectoparasite and endoparasite. What are ectoparasites? The parasites which live on the outer surface, outer or body surface of the organism of the host, or we can say the external surface of the host organism is said to be as ectoparasite. Ecto means outside. Okay, so the parasites which live on the external surface of the body of host and feed on them are called as ectoparasite. Example, ticks on the dogs or lice on human. These are examples of ectoparasites. Even many marine fishes are infested with the ectoparasite called copepods. Here the picture what you are seeing is the copepod. Okay, this is a parasite on most of the marine fishes. Then in plants, if you see, Cuscuta is a parasitic plant, and commonly it grows on the other plants. Okay, on hedge plants we can see the plants which form boundaries. Okay, that is the hedge plants. On them we can see this Cuscuta growing. Then this Cuscuta has lost its chlorophyll and leaves, and they do not synthesize their food because leaf is not there and chlorophyll is not there, and they absorb the nutrients from the host plant by using a specialized root called haustoria. So haustoria is a specialized root developed in Cuscuta plant which deeply enters into the host plant and absorb the nutrients from the host plants. Okay, so these are examples of ectoparasites. And even the female mosquito, can we consider it as an ectoparasite? Actually, it is not a parasite because it come and feed on the human blood or any mammalian blood only just for producing egg. Okay, fertile egg. So for that they used to suck the blood. They are always not attaching to the host body. Okay. Now, what are endoparasites? Endo means inside. Parasites which live inside the body of host is said to be as endoparasite. In liver it can be found, in kidney, lungs, or even red blood cells they can be found. Okay. In red blood cell we can see the plasmodium is an endoparasite, isn't it? Then in the liver fluke, or even in kidneys or in lungs, the pathogens they live and affect the kidneys or lungs, isn't it? That is the bacteria. So these are all endoparasites. Then the life cycle of these endoparasites are more complex when compared to that of the ectoparasites. Their morphological and anatomical features are very simple, but they are having a very high reproductive potential. One interesting example of parasitism is brood parasitism. So, in brood parasitism, the parasitic bird lays its egg in the nest of its host, and it will let the egg lay there so that the host will incubate the egg and the eggs will hatch out. Okay, so in brood parasitism, the parasitic bird lays its egg in the nest of its host and allow the host to incubate the eggs. Okay, and during evolution, the egg of parasitic bird have evolved in such a way that it resembles the host egg in size as well as color, so that there is very less chance for the host bird to detect the foreign egg and to eject them from the nest. Okay, see, the best example for this is the cuckoo bird. The cuckoo bird will lay the egg. It is the parasitic bird. That means it laid the egg in the nest of crow, and the crow, the egg of this crow and the cuckoo bird will be more or less same in size as well as color. Okay, it is said that the cuckoo bird's egg is slightly smaller than that of the crow's egg. Okay, so the crow will not identify or it will not differentiate the cuckoo's egg from its own egg, because all will be more or less similar. So it will assume that it is its own egg and it will incubate it, and the egg will hatch out. Okay, so cuckoo bird laying the egg in the nest of crow is an example for brood parasitism. Okay, so this is about brood parasitism.